Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my predicted 11 for the Wolves Manchester United game. So in goal, David De Gea. David De Gea has been in goal for our first two league games. He was in goal last weekend for the Southampton game. De Gea didn't really have much to do. He made a good save to deny Adam Armstrong. He also made a good save from that James Ward-Prowse free kick. De Gea was in goal for the game against Leeds on the opening day. Didn't really have much to do in that one, made a couple of saves. De Gea is obviously staying at Manchester United for this season. Earlier on in the summer, it said that David De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place. And De Gea said he's determined to fight for his future. This is De Gea's 11th season at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club, so he's been a long servant. He's been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. De Gea's had 8 good years. A few years ago, he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world because he's won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. De Gea has 2 years left on his contract and he's on £375,000 a week. At right back, Wan-Bissaka played in the game against Southampton last weekend. I thought he was poor against Southampton, didn't show much attacking intent, his positioning was poor and his passing was poor. Wan-Bissaka though was pretty good against Leeds on the opening day. Wan-Bissaka is one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, he's always been good. There is aspects of his game that have got to improve. Bissaka's got to get forward more. Maybe his crossing's got to improve. This is his 3rd full season at Man United. We got Wan-Bissaka for 50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. The two centre-halves, Rafael Varan and Harry Maguire. I'm expecting Rafael Varan to make his debut. Varan didn't play any part against Southampton last weekend. Varan to Manchester United was official just before the opening game against Leeds. We got Varan in a deal worth £43 million. With add-ons included. Man United paid £34 million up front. Varan signed a 4-year contract with Man United. There's an option of a further year. Varan is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a good pedigree as a player. You know, Varan won a lot of trophies during his time at Real Madrid. Varan did endure 10 years with Real Madrid, so he was a long-serving player. But I think in the Premier League he will exceed expectations, and at Man United I'm convinced he will replicate what he did in his years with Real Madrid. What a fantastic centre-back partnership that is, Varan and Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, he played last weekend against Southampton. I thought he enjoyed a poor game, to be honest with you. He did well though in the opening game against Leeds. Maguire's had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. He was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. But we should get the best out of Maguire now with obviously Varan alongside him. We overpaid for Maguire. We got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive signing at the club. Left back, Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw has enjoyed a good start to the season. He's done well in our first two league games. Luke Shaw was very good last season. He's been our first choice left back for a while. He still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles last year. Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite the injuries he has sustained before. Shaw has been at Manchester United for like 7 years now, so he's been a long-serving player. I think we're in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. So yeah, that's the back four. In the midfield, I'm going to go with Matic and Donny Van Der Beek. Matic played against Southampton last weekend. I thought he enjoyed a poor game. Like I said, I've got my strong reservations about Matic because he's always been a static midfielder. He hasn't been consistent enough in a lot of the games he's played at Man United, and he's ageing up. We got Matic for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Matic has been with us now for like 4 years. Donny Van Der Beek, he deserves a chance. Donny Van Der Beek played no part against Southampton last weekend and didn't start against Leeds either. I said if Donny Van Der Beek doesn't get game time, there's a good chance that he's going to leave Manchester United. This is Van Der Beek's second full season. Last season, Van Der Beek made 36 appearances for Man United in all competitions, but most of them appearances come from the bench. Van Der Beek only started, 4 games in the league last season. And earlier on in the summer, Van Der Beek was subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. I haven't really had much of a perception on Van Der Beek at Man United, but in general he's a good player. I thought he was a very good player at Ajax. Van Der Beek did really well in our final pre-season game against Everton. You know, he kept the ball well, he was very tenacious in his play. That just proves how good he can be. We got Van Der Beek in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax, with add-ons included, and Van Der Beek is under contract with Man United until 2025. And he's versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. Ahead of Matic and Van Der Beek, Bruno Fernandes in the number 10. Bruno Fernandes played against Southampton last weekend. I thought it was an average performance from Bruno Fernandes. Weren't his best performance. Fernandes, I think, did have a good chance in the game that produced a good save from the Southampton goalkeeper. And obviously he played a part in Greenwood's equaliser against Southampton. Bruno Fernandes was fantastic against Leeds on the opening day because he got his first Manchester United hat-trick. Bruno Fernandes is our best player and he's probably the best signing we've made since Ferguson retired. Bruno Fernandes does not want to leave the club. He's happy to stay at Old Trafford as contract talks go on. Fernandes has got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Analysing the vast majority of Bruno Fernandes' games at Man United, he's been very consistent, but there's also been a few games where he's looked off the pace. Last season, he won Player of the Year, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We brought Bruno Fernandes in from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Now, on the left-hand side, Paul Pogba. Recently we've been playing Paul Pogba in more of an advanced role. Pogba has enjoyed a good start to the season. So far he has got 5 assists. He got an assist last weekend against Southampton and he got 4 assists against Leeds on the opening day. Pogba should have actually scored against Southampton because he had a chance where he hit the crossbar. And he actually should have got his name on the score sheet against Leeds. Pogba is expected to stay at Manchester United for at least this season. Before the Southampton game, Solskjaer said that talks are ongoing with Pogba's representatives to persuade Pogba to sign a new Man United contract. Solskjaer mentioned that he's not worried about Pogba's contract situation. And The Athletic said that Man United is set to make Pogba the highest paid player at the club with a new 5-year contract worth £400,000 a week. Pogba receives £290,000 a week at the moment on his current contract. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Sky Sports said not so long ago that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer when his contract expires, and it said he's set to join PSG on a free because PSG are pushing to sign Pogba next summer and PSG are prepared to offer Pogba £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. Before the start of the season, it said Pogba sees a long-term future at Man United but may wait on the contract extension. Before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new contract at Man United because Sky Sports said that Pogba was increasingly unlikely to sign a new Man United contract. Before the start of the season, though, Solskjaer revealed that he had positive talks with Pogba over his future. And The Telegraph said before the start of the season that Pogba would start the season with Man United, then he'd make a decision about his future before the 31st of August. This is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. We paid £89 million for him, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. On the right hand side, I'm going to go with Jadon Sancho. I'm expecting Jadon Sancho to make his first Premier League start for Man United. Jadon Sancho didn't start against Southampton last week. I can't understand why. a lot of Man United fans criticised Solskjaer for not starting Sancho last week against Southampton, but he did come on in the game. I think Sancho will do very well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him right. We got Sancho in a deal worth £78 million, with add-ons included. Sancho's under contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Sancho to Man United was confirmed on the 23rd of July. And up top, I'm going to go with Mason Greenwood. I think Mason Greenwood's enjoyed a good start to the season. I thought Greenwood played well against Southampton last weekend, had quite a few shots. Obviously got our equalising goal. And Greenwood scored in the opening game against Leeds. He actually should have had a couple of more goals in that game against Leeds because he had two good early chances. One came from mistake from Leeds. Greenwood has been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. He did go a long period though without scoring at one point. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7. So he's been part of the club for a long time, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. He's got a long-term future at Man United. So that's how I think Man United will line up against Wolves. That is, by the way, a 4-2-3-1 formation. Just want to give you some news on Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay has got a groin injury. So he's going to be missing the game this Sunday against Wolves. I think he's having surgery on his groin. So I just wanted to notify you guys about that. Marcus Rashford, he's out with a shoulder injury. He said he's out until October. Don't forget, earlier on in the summer it said that Marcus Rashford decided to have surgery on his shoulder. Alex Telles, he's still out. He's got an ankle injury that he sustained in training before the start of the season. Telles wouldn't have been in contention to play in this game anyway. Edison Cavani has been out. Is it due to personal reasons? Eric Bailly has also been out, I think, due to personal reasons. Elanga has got a knock. Ahmad Diallo's out due to personal reasons. Dean Henderson, he's close to returning now, but obviously he has been unavailable because he's had COVID-19. So there you go. Phil Jones, he's now back. He made his comeback from injury in the behind closed doors game against Burnley. Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. He sustained the injury in the FA Cup game against Tranmere. But I'm expecting Manchester United to beat Wolves. We've got a very good away record in the Premier League. Reflecting on that 1-1 draw with Southampton last weekend, we equalled Arsenal's record. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League since January 2020. We have to beat Wolves anyway. This game against Wolves on Sunday will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 100th Premier League game as Manchester United manager. So far, we have taken 4 points from our first 2 league games. Wolves They've endured a bad start to the season. They lost their first 2 league games. They lost to Tottenham last weekend 1-0, and they lost their opening game against Leicester 1-0. So Wolves have not yet scored in the league. Wolves recently had a good result though against Nottingham Forest. They've beaten them 4-0 in the EFL Cup. Wolves' current manager is Bruno Lage. They appointed him in earlier on in the summer. Before Wolves, Bruno Lage was at Benfica. Wolves had Nuno Santo before Bruno Lage. Nuno Santo did very good at Wolves. You know, he brought Wolves up to the Premier League from the Championship. He got Wolves 2 seventh place finishes in the Premier League. And a couple of years ago, he got Wolves to the FA Cup semi-final for the first time in 21 years. Nuno Santo left Wolves at the end of last season. He is now Tottenham's manager. Wolves have got some good players, like I've already gone through with you. Adama Traore, he's one of their key players. I think he'll be in contention to play in this one. Raul Jimenez, he's another one of Wolves' key players. I think he'll be in contention to play in this game. Neto, I don't know if he's going to be available for Wolves because he's been out with injury, and Neto is definitely one of Wolves' key players. Podence, I think he'll be in contention to be involved in this game. Podence has just come back from injury. Ruben Neves, he's also very, very good. I think he'll definitely be involved in this game. Manchester United have been linked with Ruben Neves. Bruno Lage has said that he wants to keep Ruben Neves, but he says every player has a price. Earlier on in the summer, Ruben Neves hinted that he'd made a decision on his future, and he called any talks of a transfer away. Because he's very happy at Wolves, and he revealed his excitement of working alongside Bruno Lage. Earlier on in the summer, it said that Man United were leading Arsenal in the race to sign Ruben Neves. Man United are eyeing a cut price deal for Ruben Neves. Wolves want £40 million to let Neves go, but we're unwilling to pay £40 million. Ruben Neves has got a contract with Wolves until 2024. Wolves got him from Porto back in 2017. Wolves paid £15.8 million for him. Wolves know how much of a imperative player he is. Moutinho, I also like him a lot. I think he'll be in contention to play in this game. Wolves have also got Fernando Markel. Didn't they bring him in last year? I think he'll be involved in this game. Wolves have also got Dendoncker. Conor Cody, he'll be involved in this game, I should presume. Before Wolves, he was at Liverpool. Didn't Conor Cody come up Liverpool's academy? Romain Saiz, I think he'll be involved in this game. He played very well in the game at Old Trafford last season. Fabio Silva, Wolves have also got him. Nelson Semedo, do you think he'll be involved in this game? They brought Nelson Semedo in from Barcelona. Like I said to you, Wolves have got some injuries. They've got Bueno injured. They've got Mosquera injured. Neto's been out with injury, like I mentioned. Johnny, he's out with injury. And Willie Bowley is out with injury. Wolves have really struggled since they lost Diego Jota last year to Liverpool. Wolves also lost Matt Doherty to Tottenham. Last season, we beat Wolves at Molineux 2-1. It was the final game of last season. Our goals came from Juan Mata and Elanga. We beat Wolves at Old Trafford last season 1-0. It was a stoppage time goal from Marcus Rashford. After the Wolves game, it's an international break, and then it's Newcastle, then it's West Ham. As you all know, Man United got drawn against West Ham in the EFL Cup third round. On my next video, I'll be giving you an update on some more transfer news. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.